What's up, y'all, and welcome back to The Quiet Loud with me, DeAntony Collins. Today, we're doing something a little different. We're circling back to big stories we've covered before, from gerrymanders to silence over Trump's health to threats on free speech, and asking what changed, what didn't, and what it means for our democracy. But first, if you've been rocking with us, or if this is your first time, please do me a favor. Follow, subscribe, drop a 5-star review on Apple, Spotify, or YouTube, however you're watching this or listening to this podcast, okay? That's how this community cuts through the noise. That's how we grow. So first, a couple of whispers guaranteed to make you wow or make you smile, and then we'll dive into the quiet countdown. All right, first up, we head to Japan for painted cow science. All right, researchers in Japan literally painted cows with zebra stripes. And no, this wasn't an art project, it was science. Check this out.
A zebra? It's not just for fun, it's science. Studies suggest that zebras' stripes help protect them from biting flies. So researchers tested this by painting cows with zebra-like stripes. The result? The striped cows had 50% fewer biting flies landing on them. The theory is that the stripes confuse the fly's vision, making it harder for them to land. This simple trick could help farmers protect livestock naturally. No harmful pesticides needed. Would you try this on your cows? Comment below and subscribe for more videos like this.
Published in the PLOS One, the Public Library of Science, the study found that cows painted with black and white stripes had over 50% fewer fly landings compared to unpainted cows. Flies can stress cattle, lowering milk yields and even spreading disease, so this odd experiment had a serious aim of... Still, it's not hard to laugh picturing a field of zebra-striped Holsteins grazing in rural Japan. One ag journal even quipped, quote, "Who wore it better, the cow or the zebra?" The researchers argued that it's an alternative to pesticides, which can harm the environment. So it might look silly, but hey, this is modern science for you. All right, next up, join a rainstorm. Sometimes the internet gives us pure joy. In Texas, a doorbell cam captured a young family sprinting through a sudden downpour. Mom and dad soaked, dad shielding their 2-year-old in a hilarious, heart-melting dash. Uploaded by Tabitha Luna, this clip racked up over 10 million views on TikTok and Instagram within a week. Check this out. You know I love a good comment section, and the comment section was full of love. Quote, "This is the internet I signed up for," one user wrote. Another said, "Protect this child at all costs." Luna told Today's Show that she never expected strangers to connect so deeply to 30 seconds of chaos. But people underestimate the pure joy of a child's laughter, which took me down a complete rabbit hole. So there may be a little bit more shared at the end of this video. Watch until the end, all right? So now it's time to turn to the quiet countdown. Number 1. The gerrymander arms race. This summer, Reuters Ipsos poll found 57% of Americans believe democracy is in danger because of partisan gerrymandering. If you don't know what gerrymandering is, that is a redistricting of voter maps, just to be basic. That includes 80% of Democrats and 40% of Republicans, okay? And for good reason. In Texas, Republicans passed a rare mid-decade congressional remap pushed by, of course, Trump. A move experts say could net the Republicans up to 5 additional seats in the House. All right. Civil rights groups sued immediately, arguing that the maps dilute Black and Latino voting power in violation of the Voting Rights Act. In Missouri, another Trump-backed plan advanced to lock in 7 of 8 House seats for Republicans, and lawmakers moved to make citizen ballot initiatives even harder, so voters can't easily undo these maps. Meanwhile, in California, Democrats counter-moved. We've talked about Governor Gavin Newsom and how he's asking voters to suspend the independent commission's map and adopt a new one that could flip up to 5 more seats for the Democrats, okay? Counterbalancing the Republicans' activities right now. So what he's proposing is that the state of California suspend their independent commission's maps, not to throw them out completely, just to suspend them for now. And here's the big key difference. And the difference being democracy. California voters will get the final say on this in November. It will be up on the ballot for them to decide if this is something they truly wanted. Okay, so it's not being shoved down their throats like in Texas or in Missouri. This is something that is being put forth, and there are people lining up on both sides. You have Governor Newsom leading the charge for this to happen. Meanwhile, you have people like former Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger campaigning against it. Okay, so we'll see how it shakes out in November, but I'm willing to bet it will go through. All right, bottom line, when maps decide the seat, elections become confirmations and not contests anymore, and that disenfranchises us all. All right. Number 2, election rule tampering. So if maps are the marquee fight, the rules are the undercard. For those of you that just watched that Canelo and Crawford fight the other day. All right, anyway, the Trump DOJ has sued states like Oregon and Maine to access full voter lists, even discussing sharing that data with Homeland Security investigations for immigration probes. Civil liberties groups warned that this could chill participation in immigrant communities. In Texas, lawmakers are working to restore expanded powers for the Attorney General to prosecute elections crimes statewide. Authority the courts had previously curbed. Critics say it invites centralized partisan prosecutions. Supporters call it integrity. Florida's Office of Elections, Crimes, and Security continues to expand, and lawmakers also voted to raise the bar for citizen ballot initiatives. Add to that the ERIC exodus. Okay, ERIC, I don't know if you know this, it's the Electronic Registration Information Center. And Republican-led states abandoned the bipartisan data sharing system that cleaned up the voter rolls, leaving their counties scrambling. And we know that chaos isn't just a byproduct here, it's the tactic. Tilt enough rules, sow enough confusion, and you will shrink participation before a ballot is even cast. That's what they're trying to do here. Think the assault on mail-in ballots in 2020, okay? And again in 2024. They're always trying to find another way to get people to not vote. Low turnout is how Republicans win, okay? Please keep an eye on this space. All right, number 3, Trump's health, transparency, and global confidence, all right? Let's talk transparency at the very top. In April, Trump underwent a Walter Reed exam where doctors reported that there were, quote, no major health concerns. But only weeks later, the White House acknowledged swelling in his lower legs and his ankles and bruising on his right hand and chalked it up to aspirin use and handshakes. Okay, but the speculation hasn't stopped. Images circulated online of makeup covering a recurring hand bruise, with the Washington Post noting the optics became a mini media saga. Critics also highlight Trump's frequent verbal stumbles, dropping words mid-sentence, and visible facial drooping in recent appearances. Global allies are noticing also. A Pew survey across 24 countries found that 2/3 of people lack confidence in Trump on world issues, with NATO allies especially doubtful on Ukraine and climate. As Pew noted, though, confidence in U.S. leadership has eroded sharply compared to past presidents. Rumors come and go, but transparency and competence, that's what steadies the ship here, okay? We need to be able to know that our leader has his full faculty. All right. They made these same claims during the Biden administration, and I'm not going to say that they were completely unfounded. He was old. He was old. Guess what? Trump is old. All right. And he seems to be in poorer health than President Biden was at the time. Now let's get into number 4. Free speech is under attack. And that's even more evident with Trump's assault on late night. So, Trump has ramped up attacks on late-night comedians, Jimmy Kimmel, Stephen Colbert, Seth Meyers, Jimmy Fallon, calling them all enemies of the people. Reports surfaced that the administration is even weighing a federal review of FCC authority over satire, something no modern president has ever attempted. Trump mocked the Kennedy Center Honors and the Mark Twain Prize for American Humor, sneering that comedians were traitors in tuxedos. Only to have Colbert fired back on his show, quote, if making fun of you is treason, then lock me up with a mic stand. The chilling part is that even floating these threats undermines the First Amendment. As NPR's media desk put it, quote, the symbolism is as damaging as the policy would be. Okay? Comedians are refusing to back down too, and they're sharpening their punchlines into political humor. because humor isn't just entertainment. Sometimes it's a form of resistance, okay? So we need people to stand up and don't let this happen. As we've talked about before, the Trump administration tries to do a lot of things. They try to slip a lot of things under the radar, and they feel like if they bombard the news cycle with a lot of things happening at once, that we'll forget about Trump's health, we'll forget about Epstein, we'll forget about inflation and the tariffs and ICE and all of the other things that they're doing. But we cannot remain silent. When we start making noise, that's when they start to roll some of this nonsense back, okay? We already know a lot of these things don't pass muster when they go to the courts, okay? Unless it's Trump's cronies up in the Supreme Court. But even Republican federal judges, when they get a good look at some of these lawsuits that Trump is peddling through, they're losing, okay? So we have to keep speaking up. We have to keep standing up and calling these things out. It's the only way we're going to beat this. Okay? All right. Let's get into the listener echo. So here's your echo for this week. Which of these stories landed the hardest with you? Was it the maps? Was it the rule rigging? The health questions? Or the free speech fight? And what follow-up should we talk about next? Hit the comments and reviews. And hit me with an email if you want at quietloudpod@gmail.com. That's quietloudpod@gmail.com. Okay? And let us know how you're feeling. And we can hold on to this and present our receipts together. So, there it is, y'all. Today we laughed at panic cows and rainstorm sprints. And then we checked the receipts on gerrymanders, on election rules, on transparency at the top, and on threats to free speech. And if this helped you see the board more clear, then share it. Subscribe wherever you listen and drop a 5-star review on Apple and Spotify so this community grows even louder. All right. Check us out on YouTube as well, as where the full video of this is showing. All right. Please give us a subscribe there and a like. All right. So that we can keep this thing moving. So as always, stay loud in your listening and stay real in your truth. I'm DeAntony Collins, and this has been The Quiet Loud.
Sit back. Done. No.